Hey folks, well I've been working for about an hour and a half this morning. I usually start around 6:30 a.m. and work for about 2 or 3 hours making videos, and so I got tired. It's a lonely job here, and so I thought I would show you this, and then I'll like do a workout and eat lunch and then tutor about 6 hours, but I'm cutting it down from 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, to 4 days a week because I'm getting really burnt out. But I like doing this because it's really creative. So anyway, here's the deal. What I do is I use a graphics program that has layers, and then I set up the question here. So this is like a physics question right here. The figure below shows the velocity versus time graph. Don't worry about that. It's just the setup for the problem here, and it's multiple choice, and there's the answer. Now, the way the teacher explains this is like this right here. That's the entire explanation. And it's a good one if you're a physicist, but if you're a student, you go, what the fuck? And so I'm trying to make it entertaining, but also to teach something. So I'm going to kind of go through these layers. Now, what I do after I make all this is then I do the voiceover, and then I put them together for review, and I can reuse all these videos. And it's turned out to be extremely lucrative on a local level, and I think I can also do something with this nationally. But first, I want to exploit as much as I can locally, because once it's done, I don't have a lot of work to do, and it kind of makes sense. Also, the software that I'm using costs some money, so I've already paid for it with the reviews, and I figured no sense doing the stuff that's not going to pay off for a while. Anyway, enough of that. Here's the deal. So what I'll do is I'll talk them through. I'll say, well, you know, here are the variables over here, and essentially we're asked for this, and these guys over here were given, but I'd explain it a little nicer than that without the classical music in the background. And then I'd say we're looking for an equation that does not have acceleration, because that's the thing missing. So then I would do something like this. These are the kinematic equations of science, just to get some humor, and I get feedback that it helps. They said they're laughing and they pay attention. I don't do it on every video, but I just kind of sneak it in there once in a while to keep them watching. Anyway, I tell them, okay, yeah, this is how you figure out this equation. Here's the one to use, and then you prompt them with this. There's the equation, and so this is, we're looking for displacement. Doesn't matter if you understand this or not. It's just the idea of all this, and I'm sure some of you are totally bored by this already, but it's the art. It's the art. It's cool. It's like there is something artistic about this. You got to entertain people and make it attractive. Then they learn. Otherwise, they do this. They go, what the fuck? Anyway, and then I do something like this over here. See, nice colors, kind of looks like sherbet over here, and there's the equations. For those that know physics, I'm just essentially getting the displacements for each of the components of this exciting graph here, and then I give them the answer right over here by adding up the different displacements. You get your answer, and then I mentioned there's an alternative way to solve the problem, which is to solve for the areas under the curve. And then I'd probably briefly talk about that. Anyhow, that's the deal, and now I'm going to go back to work, or I'm going to have a pineapple and then go back to work. Yeah, I'm going to have a pineapple.